Losing my mind. What else is new?
Come on, put your hands together. Come on, come on. Hey!
Good morning. It is September 2nd. It's actually, oh, it's late morning because I slept in after staying up too late watching TV. I'm gonna get to work on the second air conditioner later. So one of the first things we're gonna do this morning is position this grate. I'm gonna mark it from the other side. So that vent's gonna be down there. Jeannie, you have to keep your feet clean. No smelly feet. This will be going back through the ventilator. That line is going to run all the way in here, and then when we come down, you know, that right there's going to be the wall. It'll kind of be smushed up inside of here, come up and go up, and then up here will be our vent. So that way the air's going all the way over, dropping down and going out. Later. Okay, we have the register or the vent line cut out. We have the return air filter piece cut out. We got the platform pretty much positioned where you want to. Still debating on which line or which through holes I want to use for condensation and drain and whatnot. I may raise it just a tiny bit higher, maybe put another board underneath it. I don't know. I'm debating on that. Anyway, we'll go ahead, once the paint dries on it here, we'll go ahead and mount that, and then we'll have to make a decision on the line. And we will start work this afternoon on the other half. I think the paint's dry. How dry is this paint? Yeah, it's dry enough. So we're gonna get this guy mounted and get the platform for that beast built up. It's freaking gigantic. Later. There was a big zip tie on this, but instead of zip tying to the tubing right here, they had it zip tied to the heat shrink material that was on there. Created this, every time I bent this, it was bending these wires back and forth instead of them being in the protective tubing. The second thing, once I got that off, I realized they bring material up to there, and then it came down to here. These were just all flaying around, and then these are all sharp edges over here, which these guys were rubbing against. You go to all the expense and trouble of putting the loom on, putting the heat shrink on, but you only halfway do it. I gotta redo all this, or in 2 or 3 years, it's gonna have worn through and the wires are gonna be shortened out and possibly start a fire. Unbelievable. Later. all of the plumbing lines are hooked up. This guy had 2 condensation outputs, so I got one up there, and I got this one back here, and then this is the seawater outlet, and I'm going to secure it probably up here. That one way down there is the inlet, and I have it coming up and looping around because basically these are going to be in series. The top one is going to get fed first, and then the wastewater from it's going to come in, go through, and then go out. And then this line here, which is in that upper hole, is the condensation for that unit. And I also fixed this guy here so that he's properly strapped in. Those wires are all protected, and that's held down in like several different spots. I got to start building the platform now for the other guy. Later. Slowly getting that thing built. I got 2 support legs in, 3 of my supports, and then I want to put a solid piece over here and probably something along this edge here. Well, now that I have this laid out here, I'm not super happy with how the upper section is becoming, because I'm just pushing more and more into this, and it's already coming this way, and it almost looks like we're getting a lot of dead space. This is all dead space, and that's, you can see quite a bit of dead space there, and I think I can actually slide that whole thing in more. Then that opens up this space over here for drawers. This is already becoming so wide that these drawers aren't going to start really almost to this line here. No, well, I'm going to take this top back off and see what I can do. But we got this guy moved forward. Of course, those 2 lines that had been coming out of here are no longer long enough, so I'm gonna have to redo them, but I'm not gonna redo them until I actually have the wall built up here. Basically, we're gonna box that little puppy in 1 step forward, 10 steps back. Feels like that's all I ever do. Later. There is the basic outline for the lower box. Gotta make Craig screw holes, and going to use a little scrim piece of some sort to close that in. May put some sort of piece in there to support it, but you got these 2 pieces which are going to be Craig screwed together too. This will get cut down a little bit, and then where that black mark is, it'll come across there. And so this unit's going to sit here, and then we're going to put a long duct right here, 6" by 30. It'll come up, it'll pull the air in. I'm confirmed I can get filters for a 6" by 30. We'll see if we can get this thing placed. And of course my sheet metal for making this unit right there is back in Cape Canaveral. Later. Good morning. It is early on September 3rd. Happy birthday, Nate. Can't believe I have a child who is 30 years old now. Anyway, I'll give you a call later today and wish you a happy birthday. Of course, I think your birthday present is the fact that your mom is out there helping you with your first child. Boat definitely has a list to it. Walk out there and take a closer look at it real quick. And then I'm gonna come back in here and trim those pieces down to their final size and put some paint on them. These guys are dry. Losing my mind. What else is new? Gonna start assembling these pieces, but I think I gotta do some playing around with hoses. I gotta put a longer hose on there and a longer hose there. Oh joy, guess I'm gonna do that first. Later. Just about got the lower unit or the office AC closed in. That unit. The condensation hose, not an issue. It easily reaches. Ply hose though is a little tighter. Condensation line, I found some 1/2" tubing, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But this line's not long enough. I actually want to bring it through the underside like I did the electrical there and then loop it up. Get this guy installed. I got to take it off later. has been mounted. The one line that didn't fit, bringing it underneath, worked really well. So that's the exit line which feeds the lower unit. So it goes down and into the other one. This is the primary line, so I'm gonna take a little break here and then we're gonna run that line and then we'll get this guy set up on there and that guy, and then both of them are all plumbed except for the engine room pump system. Then I'll start work on cutting out this duct area here. Overall, this is all working out fairly well. Later. Okay, well, now the room's a little bit cleaner, so let's mess it all up again. I kept most of the stuff in here because I don't want to be chasing it, because if I was to take it back to where it belongs, then I'm going to need it right back in here. Anyway, I think the first thing I'm going to do is try to get the line through there. I'm going to do that one of two ways. Get the jigsaw and cut out little sections, or find the hole and drill a big enough hole to bring the line through. Anyway, I'm going to go do that now. Okay, well there is the electrical boxes mounted. Now I just got to run the thermostat wires and the AC wires and other odds and ends, but I needed those guys mounted. The water, I think, is going to come along this and run along the bottom here and then loop down and go up and into the hole of that. But I think I can put a hole right there is where my target is, because that'll be right in line with that up there. I guess I should drill that hole so I have a target later. Okay, well, we got ledger in, going around, so we'll put a top in when we get back here. We'll put a top in here, and then that'll let me start putting some pieces up here. Of course, we're going to get the air conditioner working, and then that's the length going along that way there. Oh, anyway, done for the evening. I'm tired. Later.